Hello. Hi. I am incredibly sweaty right now. My thighs, can't see them, and you won't see them, but my thighs are soaked in sweat. It's not the ideal weather I wanted to record in. The show must go on, so here I am, sweating to death. 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 of you guys. I think at this point it's over 10,000, which is still mind-blowing to me that more people are subscribed to the channel than the amount of people that live in the town that I live in. That's insanity. I'm just so proud of this channel and I'm so grateful for all of you guys. I put up a community post on YouTube and on Instagram asking you guys if you guys had any questions to ask me and I would answer anything that you guys asked. I wouldn't say repetitive questions, but I got some questions that are along the same kind of theme, so I'll kind of group things together instead of going through each and every one of them. Purple Lionification said, congrats, what's your favorite Pokemon? I would say out of all of them, my favorite Pokemon is probably Esper. They just have these like huge eyes and they remind me of my cat. Tea Cakes said, we'd love to hear you talk a bit more about your tattoos if you're comfortable with it. Of course! I was going to do a kind of tattoo tour video at some point, but currently I believe I have around 17 tattoos currently, which is literally not a lot at all. By the time I reached the age that I am, I thought I would have way more tattoos, but I'm impulsive yet indecisive when it comes to tattoos, which is not a good combination. Don't really have much going on right now, but I do want a sleeve. And I was thinking that this sleeve would consist of like kind of horror anime like Junji Ito and things like that. Some of the tattoos I went into a shop and had them done, and other ones I did myself. So I'm not advocating for anyone to tattoo themselves or anything like that. I do want to and have a very heavy interest in becoming a tattoo artist. I have a background in art, so to me it doesn't really feel like I'm being irresponsible because I'm working towards something, but so I make sure I sterilize everything and clean everything. I do a stick and poke method currently because I'm trying to save up for an actual tattoo machine. Probably can't see it. It's not the best done, but it says Daijoubu desu, and in Japanese that means I'm okay, it's okay, things like that. I did these two on my leg currently, and I want my leg to also be a sleeve. Radio X Radio Hazard asked recent music discoveries. Ooh, Chapel Run. Harsh Symmetry and Nosferatu. I made a goth music playlist. I will leave it up on the screen and down below. It's always down below in the description box if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, they're really good. I like them a lot. Nosferatu is so good. Yeah, on that playlist it's probably a little bit confusing because there's a variety of music. I love new wave. I know some people online are saying that new wave is and isn't goth. Shout out to Kevin for always leaving me the funniest comments. How has marriage affected your goth lifestyle? I say it hasn't really at all. He likes the music that I put on as far as like goth music wise. I'm so glad I did not have to change the decor for him. He's a fan of the dark and spooky haunted atmosphere that I've cultivated. If anything, I feel like it's enhanced it in a way where I feel like, especially in the state of our relationship that we've reached, I feel like Morticia. I feel like this is my Gomez. Our relationship is very much reflective of Gomez and Morticia, and they have always been couple goals to me. Do you wear wigs or is it all natural? I wear wigs. I have a condition called trichotillomania, and that just means that I pull hair out when I'm super stressed. Number 3, what type of job / career do you have and can you dress goth at it? Because my mental health and received diagnosis after diagnosis the last 2 years. I'm currently unemployed because of that. At my other jobs, I was able to dress goth. I mean, it was pretty apparent at my first job. I worked at Nordstrom. I dressed goth. Everyone knew me as the goth girl. So what hobbies, interests do I have? Drawing is a hobby of mine. I do nails, apparently tattoo. I love horror movies. I'm very, very big into medieval torture. Oh, video games. What's my favorite type of food? I grew up eating a lot of fried rice, curry, gyudon. If you can go anywhere in the world, where would it be? I want to go to Iceland so badly. Oh, and also New Orleans. I really want to go to New Orleans. I feel like it'd be super fun. And I want to go to Forks, Washington because Twilight. Wow. What's one superpower you would want to have? I guess invisibility. I hate being perceived. Lani Luna says, congrats for the Q&A. What's your holy grail makeup product? And what other movies or shows would you recommend to people who like Interview with a Vampire? Lately, I've been really into these NYX lip oils. I'd say Castlevania, if you haven't seen that already or played any of the games. Apparently Mayfair Witches is another Anne Rice, so I feel like if you like Interview with a Vampire, you'd probably like Mayfair Witches as well. Kevin Kruger says, what got you into goth? I will answer your what got me into goth a little bit later. What show do I like more, The Munsters or Addams Family? Oh man, I grew up watching both. Show-wise, because not the movie, show-wise. If it was movies, I say Addams Family. But show-wise, I'm kind of leaning Monsters. I watched more of that with my mom. My mom loves watching older type black and white shows. So I grew up watching the Munsters more than I did the Addams Family show. Lord Insidious says, I just want to thank you. The way you broke down Lestat in season 1 of Interview, it opened my eyes to the nature of my relationships with people. I can honestly say years of therapy, and all it took was breaking down Lestat's fuckery to help me see them for what they are and finally break away from those people. So again, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hope all is well or will be. Stay awesome. The fits are always fire. I appreciate the well-dressed and original souls on YouTube. Thank you so much. I'm glad I could help in any kind of way. I think it partially just comes from having experienced the same kind of person that Lestat was being portrayed as in season 1 for almost 3 years myself. So I feel like I'm kind of like, it's easy for me to see those signs and those red flags and things like that now. After so many years have passed, and I'm so sorry that you were involved with someone that was like that. I know how traumatizing that can be, even just the smallest interactions with a person like that, and I'm so happy that you're able to escape that and get away from that. Pandronimus, if I'm saying that right. Kisses from Spain. Congrats, Gothic friend. Thank you so much. Chaos Zone says, congrats. One of your videos was recommended one day. I'm so happy to watch it. Instantly became a fan of your channel. Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here. Question is, what would you say are your favorite horror movies? Whew. Okay, so I finally got to watch Pearl. I finally watched Pearl the other day. I love it. It is up there. I'm a fan of slashers. I love slashers. For the longest time, my favorite was Friday the 13th. It's just a solid 80s slasher. I love all kind of 80s horror movies. I've been really enjoying Evil Dead. If you guys don't know, I've been watching it on the channel. I'm on Army of Darkness, Terrifier, of course Terrifier. I want to watch As Above, So Below. I'll list my favorites right here. There's just too many to choose. What are some of the goth bands you listened to when you were still a baby bat? And 2, were you always confident enough to go outside wearing gothic? If not, how did you build up your confidence? Again, I will answer the goth, kind of what got me into goth and stuff like that at the very end, because a lot of people asked me that. That was like the #1 thing that I was asked. So to answer the second question, was I always confident enough to go outside wearing like my attire? No, actually. It took me until college to kind of get that confidence. And I don't really think it was confidence. I just kind of was like, yeah, fuck it. I give no fucks kind of thing, and didn't care what other people thought. I had gone out of a long bout of depression, so I was just ready to just kind of like start anew. 19 years for me to build up that confidence. I feel like the thing about being goth or alternative, the confidence, everything, the wardrobe, music interests, like finding the bands that you really like and gravitate towards, all of it comes with time. I think a lot of it just takes a lot of finding yourself and finding the things that you like, how to express who you are, because I feel like there's no one shoe that fits all. I feel like there's so many different bands, so many different genres of music that fit within goth subculture. I feel like there's so many different styles too. There's no one look to goth. I feel like it could be a variety of things. So Amelia Thornhill says, what are your biggest influences as far as fashion? I draw very, very heavy influence from 90s goth. Look that I saw growing up, it was whimsy goth, mall goth, and a bit of romantic goth. That's just the look I gravitate towards. Late 90s, early 2000s goth. Outside of that, I used to draw a lot of inspiration from Visual Kei, which is a subsection of Japanese fashion and music. Correlates pretty well into gothic subculture. Big Sarge, woohoo, congrats, thank you so much. Dizzy says, congrats my friend, and question is, if you can collab with anyone, who would it be and why? My other question is, if you've seen it, what did you think about The New Crow? I did not watch The New Crow, and I don't think I'm going to, I'm sorry. If you go to watch it, leave me a comment and tell me how it is down below. And if I can collaborate with anyone, like anyone on YouTube or just like anyone in general. I love Angela Benedict. I love her so much. I look up to her. I love Toxic Tears. I've always been a fan of hers as well. It's Black Friday, of course. I mean, anyone that's subscribed to anyone goth on YouTube, like, she is mother, so that would be a dream to collab with her. Riri Phillips, there's so many. As far as like someone that's not goth that I would love to collaborate with, I would love to collaborate. Wow, I cannot say that word. I would love to collab with Stephanie Sue. I just feel like the way that she acts and stuff like that, from what I've seen online, because I don't know her in person, I feel like we'd get along really, really well. Ari So Kit says, what is your favorite and least favorite music genre? Ooh, good question. Is dark wave and new wave, K-pop and metal. Least favorite music genre is, I guess, country. I know that's like such a generic answer, but like Zara Crimson says, I have one question, can we be friends? Of course we can. I consider you my friend already. Productions Produce asked me, how do you feel about the resurgence of goth individuals in the community recently, and how goth subculture is forming or reforming in general? That's a very good question. So right now, I don't think that TikTok speaks for everyone and everything. Just what I've been seeing a lot of negativity, mean girl-esque behavior, a lot of elitism, a lot of gatekeeping, people just being nasty and bullies towards one another, and I think that's just the most asinine thing, because if anyone should know what it feels like to be judged and ridiculed and bullied, would be us, right? So I don't understand why we're doing it to each other, and it makes me so sad to see. I hate bullies. I hate them so much. Do I think that's everyone? No. Sadly though, there's a lot of it online, and it kind of drowns out the individuals that are doing their best to leave a positive impact, to make room and space and encourage others to, whether it's for a day or for the rest of their life, be goth. I feel like the resurgence of goth, I feel like it kind of not so much died down a bit, but I feel like there's definitely a huge resurgence of it since 2020. I love that there's so many Gen Z, there's so many baby bats that are wanting to be a part of the gothic subculture. It makes me so happy, and I only wish that we can just exercise a bit more compassion and humanity. I think it's great to see so many younger people like listening to a lot of the bands that I like and things like that, and finding new innovative ways to take already existing like gothic styles and looks and make it their own, do new things with it. It's also fun and interesting to sit back and like watch as someone that's I wouldn't consider myself an elder goth at all. I am old, but I overall, I'm happy that more people are finding their way to the subculture. Whichever way they are, even if it's for a day, I'm happy about it. Not really. David said, do you have a go-to song for when the world gets you down? Currently, it's Give by Sleep Token. It used to be Kuroi Namida by Anna Tsuchiya, Losing My Religion by REM, Precious and Walking in My Shoes by Depeche Mode. JJ Rock said, you're ridiculously hot. Disagree, but thank you. Are you an EDM festival person? I actually see lots of goth people attending is why I'm asking. I don't know. The only festival that I went to was recently Sick New World. The Inn King asked, have you ever listened to Liebeck or Liebot? I have not. I will give them a listen after this. Are there any stereotypical cheerful pieces of media that you think have an actual, why is it so hard for me to read, that you think have a goth aesthetic / goth sensibility? I don't know. I don't really know. Mfic, favorite movie you still need to review? I guess Interview with the Vampire. I remember liking it a lot when I watched it a long time ago, and I still need to go back and rewatch it to see if I still find it in the favorites. Favorite goth song to dance to? Ooh, I guess Peekaboo by Susie and the Banshees. Congrats, by the way. How did you get into YouTube? I actually got into YouTube back in middle school. I had another channel where I was drawing and posting my art. As far as making this channel goes, went through a lot of stressful life events. I had a lot of skill regression, which is what a lot of autistic folks, not a lot, but sometimes you can run into when you hit burnout. I had skill regression as far as speaking, and I noticed that it was very hard for me to form sentences. I was constantly stuttering. It was embarrassing, and it was my form of, I guess, occupational therapy, now that I know the term for it, which apparently I still need to go to, according to my doctor. And so I made this channel so I can get better at speaking again. I just was posting gameplays and random things like that, and then I figured why not share the spooky stuff and things like that that I enjoy with others. So that was kind of it. JToSeve, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your username wrong, also asked, how long have I been a YouTuber? This channel has been around for over 7 years, surprisingly. I would say it's not until the last 3 years maybe that I started taking YouTube a bit more seriously. So I feel like the last 3 years I'd consider myself a YouTuber. Ben McChristie asks, do you think making videos is a useful conduit to help you with anxiety? Hope you're doing okay. By the way, thank you. I definitely do feel like it's very helpful for my anxiety. Putting yourself out there, it's very scary to do that. It's definitely interesting to see the amount of people that really don't like me, but also the amount of people that like watching my content and enjoy it. And I feel like that has helped out a lot with my anxiety and experiencing the positives that come with putting yourself out there. You never know until you try. It's like, what's the worst that happens? People hate you. People are going to regardless. It was scary at first, and it definitely can still be anxiety inducing to post things, not know if YouTube's gonna block it or not know if, you know, it's going to be received well. There's so many variables to it. I feel like I'm at a place where I'm content and happy, and I no longer really have so much anxiety from being a YouTuber. Do you listen to Make Them Suffer? I don't, I'm sorry. I'll listen to them after though. Kakihara asks, how are you? Super soaker. Do you have a favorite sleep token, mama? Of course I do. It's you. You're the best. I love you so much. Art Lava says, congrats! What do you think of season 2 of Interview with the Vampire so far? Thank you! I am on episode 3. YouTube blocked it. I still have to sort that out. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm loving it so far. It's been amazing to see the different facets of everybody, all the characters. I feel like we're seeing so many different sides of Armand, of Daniel, Louis, Claudia, Lestat, obviously the biggest one. I don't know how this is going to sound, but my phone ran out of storage space, so I have to use my iPad. I got to the question, are you loving what you do on YouTube and how are you? I love what I do. I love being able to find my people. There are some bad apples that find their way onto my channel. I have my comments currently filtered on strict, so if I haven't answered a comment of yours or things like that, just know that I probably didn't get it and it's in my held for review section of comments, just because over the last few years of having some of my videos be pushed out a little bit more, I have gotten a lot of hate, I guess, but that just comes with the territory. But I feel like some things are pretty unwarranted and unnecessary, as far as like unalive and stuff like that. Those things that I'm not the biggest fan as far as like when it comes to putting yourself out there online, but I understand it comes with it. But just because it comes with it doesn't mean that it's okay. Long story short, I love what I do. Minimize Life asked, where can I submit my boyfriend / husband application? I mean, I guess I did say ask me anything, but I'm married. I've been married for 4 years now, together for almost 7. So I am not accepting any boyfriend or husband applications unless it's from Vessel. I'm joking. I'm joking. The comment question that I've gotten a lot of, what was my goth awakening? What got me into the gothic subculture? I feel like I answered it pretty linear in past videos, but the more I've gotten to thinking about it at my age of 30, it's a bit more complex than I thought it was. I feel like there were different stages in my life that have led me to this point. When I shifted my actual identity and claimed the goth lifestyle teen, really, 18 to 19, I feel like was when I was like, okay, this is it. And there's no going back. I'm done trying other things. I'm done running away from it, I guess, in a way. But I feel like really started when I was a child. There's a lot of random things that my mom would tell me I was super into, that I wanted to watch, specific looks and aesthetics as well. I was drawn to The Cure was the band that got me into goth music. The radio station, the city I'm from, they played a lot of love song and just other Cure songs. That was it. I was like, I love this. But I was a kid. I was like 9. I was like 9 years old. So I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know that that was goth. I just liked it. I just knew that I really liked it. It was Love Song and Fascination Street. Kind of around the same time I got into J-Rock, Buck Tick, and Malice Miser, Lunacy, X Japan, things like that. They all kind of had the same kind of sound that at the time I didn't know was a goth sound. I just knew that I liked that kind of dark wave-ish kind of post-punk sound. The first album I got was by the band Him. I had a CD player and I was like, I need this album, because I was walking past our TV and I saw one of their music videos playing on MTV, and I was like, holy shit. A, this man is so attractive. Oh my god. B, whatever the sound is, I want more of it. What got me into the goth fashion aspect of it, when I was in 4th grade, and I will never not tell the story, but there was this goth dressed in like kind of romantic Lolita goth. She had the umbrella, the parasol, and everything. The moment I laid eyes on her, I was like, I need to be that. I have to be that. If you kind of see what I'm getting at, where like there was like little things along the way. Got to, since my mom is religious, I got to watch Addams Family and Monsters because they were more comedy and lighthearted, things like that. I watched Addams Family Values and Morticia. That Morticia spoke to my soul. I snuck watching Edward Scissorhands when I was around 11. From then on out, I begged my mom every time a new Tim Burton movie came out. I was like, please, can I watch it? Corpse Bride, I watched in theaters. Frankenweenie, I watched in theaters. She was scared of me like going down a demonic path, but ironically, she's the biggest supporter I have, and she'll constantly go out and get like skulls, things like that, like goth fashion decor stuff, and be like, here. She's my biggest supporter now. But it wasn't always like that back then. She was very much like, no. So I had to beg to watch certain things, to get certain things, like the Him CD that I got, because because it was in the shape of their band symbol, it looks like a pentagram. She was like, is this demonic music or not? Like, because I will not get this for you if it is. And I had to be like, no, it's not, it's just, I don't know why it looks like that. And I got really into thrifting when I was in elementary school. I wore a thrifted, God, it's kind of similar to the lacy red dress that I had thrifted not that long ago to school a lot. And I also, when I figured that Hot Topic was a thing back in the day, I got to get band tees finally, and then I was introduced to metal music like Slipknot and stuff like that back then, and Pantera. Really through the SpongeBob CD that I had, because Pantera had that one episode of SpongeBob where all their music was being played, and I was just like repetitively playing that over and over on my CD player. Yeah, so I would get trip pants, things like that from Hot Topic. Back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s, it's very scarce to come across like black lipstick mainly. I had to wait until either Halloween or use eyeliner as black lipstick. And then even then, the moment I would put that on, my mom's like, wipe it off. No, absolutely not. But I would get a lot of my jewelry around Halloween as a kid. I had this spider necklace. I still have it. I got bullied a lot for starting to get into the fashion aspect of goth, because like with my CD player or my iPod as well, I could just put it in my ears. No one else knew that I listened to that. But when it came to wanting to dress the part, I was a little baby mall goth at the time. So when it came to wanting to dress the part, I got bullied verbally and physically. So it stopped me from wanting to express myself. I was so scared and traumatized from the physical aspect of being bullied that I didn't want to stand out at all. I literally got physically bullied into forgoing the path I was taking into getting into the gothic lifestyle in order to kind of remove myself from that, because I had just associated being goth with being bullied at the time. My last thing I did was I wore a black dress to my 6th grade or 8th grade graduation. I don't remember which one it was. I was like, I'm no longer doing this. So I dressed in plain clothes. I still listen to J-rock. I still listen to 80s new wave and The Cure and things like that, but as far as dressing the part, yeah, I just was like, no, I don't want to be bullied. But then around 18, 19, I was like, fuck it, dude. Doesn't feel good to pretend to be something you're not. I'm not a normie. I'm not into any of that stuff I pretended to be into just to not be bullied. Even when it comes to having autism, I feel like that's been my entire life, is just being so traumatized and scared that I've forced myself into a box that is not me, a personality, an identity that's not me. And so when I was 19, I was going off to college and I was like, I'm starting anew. I'm going to be who I want to be from here on out. And I guess that's why I have such a huge disdain for bullies, because I've been there, and then given the added layer of having autism, so I was just miserable. I have never felt more happier as far as like who I am as a person. Getting my autism diagnosis last year, and for the last 10 years, being myself, even though I've had people like fetishize me, I've had people make fun of me for, you know, self-harm aspects and being like,
oh, haha, you're so emo, of course you hurt yourself, of course you do these things, like.
And I still get that online. I still get people coming into my comment section, as well as many others, telling me I'm not goth for this, I'm not goth for that, I can't be goth because of this, I can't be goth because of that. There's no way. How can you call yourself a goth when you do this, when you do that, when you say this, when you look like that, or whatever the case may be. Going out of your way to harass people and make them feel lesser than and feel small, go after people for no good reason when you don't know these people at all, I feel like it says more about you than it does the person that you're trying to attack. The fact that you feel that threatened by someone being authentically themselves, that you have to project and you have to go out of your way to bully them, is just disgusting. It's miserable behavior. I try my hardest not to engage with it because it really just does speak volumes on where they are in their life and how they feel about themselves rather than me being myself. I'm not sorry for being a black goth, for being goth, for being autistic. I'm not sorry for anything. I'm not gonna feel bad for those things. I am who I am. I know for a fact if younger me saw me today, everything I stand for, who I am, how I present myself to the world, all the things that I like, all the music that I listen to, everything. The same effect that goth had on me in 4th grade, I would have that effect on my younger self times 10. That thought alone makes me that much more comfortable and secure with who I am as a person, and I don't need the validation from other people to feel like I'm this amount of goth or this amount of goth or whatever the case may be. Like, I think all of it's silly. I'm beyond that. I'm past that. I'm 30. I don't need it. I'm me. If I want to call myself goth, I am. Long story of how I got to where I am today. There's no greater gift to give yourself and the world. Just be you. Whatever that looks like, just be you. The people that accept you and want to fuck with you will find their way to you. That's my word of advice. And my lipstick came off. So I'm gonna wrap up the video with that. Wow, it all came off. Thank you guys for 10,000, 11,000, and all the people that have stayed with me since day one, all the people that are finding this channel. Thank you to everyone that's helped this channel grow. My entire life I felt like I've not been good at anything, but for once I feel like I'm okay at this. Thank you guys for everything, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you here and part of our spooky community. I hope to see you guys in another video.